Tonight on the bench we are looking at a Samsung 55-inch curved TV, and to be honest with you, it's in a mess. Well, I'm sure you can see already what the problem is. In fact, the problem is a lot worse than I was either hoping for or begging for. This is not technically going to be repairable, as regular viewers of the channel will know. It's a 55-inch Samsung. It's a curved TV. You can't probably tell it's a curved TV from those particular angles, but it is a curved TV. That gives it a bit of a better picture. But there's a couple of things on this which are going to make me nervous straight away. And you may have noticed, and I'm not talking about the shadow, that is something I can sort out. To what degree I can sort it out is a million-dollar question. But I can actually sort that out. But we have other problems here, don't we? And if we look at the bottom right-hand corner down to where the LED strips are, we can actually see... well, I'm going to change my mind now. Are you? Yes. I thought these were burnt up. But I actually think these are LEDs that are missing. LEDs that are burnt out. Whether they've burnt the strip or not, I mean, it is possible. But it's actually not looking burnt up. It's looking like there are just LEDs out there. So this may end up looking a bit better. Not much, but a bit better. Then we come to the crux of the matter, which is the LEDs that are out completely on that strip. But then we've got something else which can't be sorted, and there's a risk of it being made worse. And it's that little, I don't know what to call it, little lightning offshoot, bright line, call it what you will. But that is down to a crack in the prism sheet, which I'm surprised it's cracked just here, because there doesn't seem to be any sign. This side of the TV is absolutely perfect. It's where the right-hand side join starts that we have the issues. Normally a crack will appear quite simply because there's a burn up of the backlight, and it's been getting hot and cold, and it cracks the sheet. So I'm a little bit mystified why we do have a crack there, but we do have a crack there. Now, the LED strips that go in here, this TV is an MU model. I'll show you the model number in full in just a moment. Let me put the lights back on. These one are screwed in. They're not glued in, they're screwed in. And the only problem with the screw-in ones is I've got no room for manoeuvre, because you've got to put the screw hole, you've got to put the screws where the screw holes are. Sometimes when it's burnt up with the other ones, the RUs and the NUs, you can just offset the strip, just 0.5 millimetre to the right, so you miss a burnt up patch, and you end up getting sometimes a better covered light. I can't do that with these backlights because they are, as I say, they're screwed in, they're set. This TV is mine, it doesn't belong to a customer. I will be happy with this TV if it's good enough to become a monitor, I suppose. I can't remember paying for the TV. I'm actually picking another one of these up tomorrow, which I have paid for. I'm paying £30 for a backlit one. But I don't think it's a backlit problem that's coming tomorrow. I think it's a circuit board error. But anyway, that's different. This particular one definitely has a faulty edge strip. The only thing we can do is put 2 strips in and hope things go okay. Because as most people know, if you watch the channel, there is no such thing as a curved screen. It's a curved TV, but there's no such thing as a curved screen. It's a straight screen which they force to be curved to fit into the frame. And as soon as I take this out of the frame, it's going to go boing, and straighten up. And that can cause damages. It can cause a crack to the screen. It can cause a problem with the ribbon cables. So it's always a risk. But we've got the backlights. Let's give it a go and see what happens. Incidentally, I'm not going to bore you with taking the back off. You know how I take the back off these. You know how we get into them, but I'm just going to take the back off first and we'll take it from there. I do beg your pardon, I said it was an MU. It's the series before that, it's a KU. I don't know if there's any difference between the MU and KUs at all. They both take the same backlights, so possibly not. Speakers should come out on these okay. Let's just take the ribbon cables out first, or the LVDS cables I should say. There's one difference of these compared to a lot of Samsung. You can adjust the feet, or you could have it, this has got a stand, but if you move these over to that side, oh my goodness, that's warm. Is that the faulty side? Yeah, it is. That doesn't bode well. That's probably going to be quite hot. Anyway, yes, you can either have a stand or you could have feet. You could choose. Not many TV manufacturers do that, but anyway, these have. Let's start to get the base off. Nice and easy. I will adjust the cameras in just a second. What is so annoying about these, of course, is the most expensive part of the TV is the part that is actually in really good condition still, which is the screen. It is spot on, it's fine, of course, and the parts that we want, which is a new prism sheet, just not available. You can't get them. And then that would make this TV perfect again. Brand new set of edge-lit strips and a prism sheet. And that's something I would invest in. A lot of people say, why don't you do it? You just can't get them. You could, once upon a time, but there was always a risk. But you can't get them now. The company that's in France are not sending them over. I think there have been problems. I'll disconnect the backlights because we're going to be playing with those soon. Before I start to tear the screen out, I just want to make a head start, bearing in mind, you probably know I have got a cushion underneath here because it's a curved screen, so I am supporting the middle bit. It's not a full curve. Again, the K was never a full curve, the M wasn't a full curve. Coming off like a dream. These clips are much better than the later models. They're not brittle, they're easy to remove. Talking about the clips which just hold this bit on here. I'm not too sure that you can see. I always like to make a head start at the bottom and down the sides before I take this out. There's still a chance that this may look okay. I'm a bit doubtful, but there's still a chance it may look okay. Right, lifting up. Got to do a few acrobatics here. And now I can continue taking the screen bezel out. Curved screen, just about to become a flat screen. Shouldn't be glued down. If I was allowed to play some background music now and not get a copyright strike, it probably would be the Jaws theme. I think you understand. Well, camera's bouncing around a bit, so I'll swap over. There are no scorch marks here. This is where they start to become a bit visible. I'm trying to think, was this the bad side? This side was pretty perfect, but this side was the bad side. Which kind of makes sense because it is stuck down. I've taken the clips off. In fact, some have broken off. But it's not budging. It seems to be stuck. That is a bad sign. So maybe we are going to see some scorch marks. The rest is coming off okay. But here, in the corner, where we think we have the problem, it is stuck. Oh, no, it's not, it's me, sorry. It's being overlapped by that one. But as soon as I move, you start to see the scorch marks. Now, of course, this is covering it, but that's not the point. Light is not going to travel through those scorch marks very well. And as it's a prism sheet, you can't start sanding that down because you sand away the prism. And that means no light will shoot up. The ideal thing would be, it's completely covered there. I think we're going to have a bad shadow there. Bad shadow. And in between these scorch marks is where you would move the LEDs. So you'd move the LEDs along a little bit. But these are fixed in place. There's no room for manoeuvre. So what I'm trying to say is, This is not going to be the £1,000 TV it used to be. Is £1,000 a bit much? They were quite expensive when they came out, for a 55-inch in particular. If you've got a 55-inch TV 10 years ago, you were doing well. And if you'd got a 55-inch LED curved 10 years ago, you were doing very well. So I would imagine these would have been in the region of £800 to £1,200, depending on the spec. And I'd never understand really the spec of TVs. And what I say by that is, there's always different variations of each series. So there'll be another 55KU, which will be curved, but it's cheaper. And I'm trying to think, why is it cheaper? It may be the backlit version. It may be it's got different software, so you can't do certain things. I don't know, but this. So I never understand the difference in the model numbers. I used to do years ago, but I stopped becoming that anorak. And sometimes I think there's not really much at all. But in the world, there are people that know these things. And you've no need to tell me in the comments. I'm not really losing any sleep over it. We got the front and sides off, mate. We've got to do is get the back off here now. That's all you've got to do. Is that a bit of tape? Of course it's a bit of tape. For those people joining us just for this video and maybe never been with us before, hello, welcome. The reason I'm wearing gloves, you're probably thinking, oh, well, he's a technician. He wears gloves all the time. He's a professional. Yes. I'm not keen on wearing gloves, but in particular, yeah, when handling a screen, wear gloves. But there's a prism sheet of glass underneath this, and it is magnetic to dust. There's plenty of dust in this workshop, and it will get coated in it. But it's also magnetic to your fingerprints, and the fingerprints will come out as a smudge on the screen. So if you put a fingerprint on the prism sheet, it will show up as a blotch on the screen. And it's quite annoying. Not really something you can clean off. And if you try and clean it off, you end up just making it worse. They are funny things, these prism sheets. Funny things, I tell ye. So you see, there's no burn up on this. The burn up is underneath. Oh, we've got 2 cracks, 3 cracks. Big crack there. Very tiny crack. Another one here. Again, nothing you can do. It's no good trying to glue it down. It's a crack, you'll just make it worse. It's no good putting tape over it. The tape will come over as a black mark on the screen. But as you can see, this side, all pretty clean, apart from those cracks. But where it started to burn out, over here, I don't think that's going to give us a good picture. Don't. Not that this is necessarily a spoiler alert, but if you look closely at those burn marks on the right-hand side again, if I give you the chance, they're not actually on the prism sheet shining up. They're just on the top. So, again, not trying to give too much away, but it's not as bad as I thought. Here's hoping I'm not going to make the cracks any worse. I do actually put one more crack in, this time on the right-hand side. Ouch. I'm certainly not going to make them any better. Stand by for a slight mishap. Again, it's not a curved piece of glass. And unfortunately, it's stuck on this side. That's quite painful to watch, isn't it? Spoiler alert, didn't cause any problems. I dodged a bullet. It really is a shame about the way they've designed this. Not the design of the TV, the actual design and the shape of the TV has been brilliant. But whoever decided the quality of the backlights, the heat of the backlights, against a weak prism sheet. Well, I was going to say, he didn't do the customers any favours. He probably did Samsung some favours. Then again, maybe not. Now, they do state that the new backlights are much better. And it's difficult to... Well, there's a better quality LED that doesn't burn up. But the damage is done. It doesn't matter. Again, no double-sided tape on the back of these because there's a big heatsink here. Now, don't forget, not every TV is like, oh, what did I forget to do at the beginning? I think I said I was going to do it as well. My apologies. I was going to check. Did I check? No, I didn't. I was going to check where the backlight setting was on this, just in case we can blame the previous owner for having it up to dynamic, but we will check when I've put these in, if everything goes in, if everything goes back okay. Not like me to miss a screw. And I can think you can see there the backlights that have failed. I don't think it's going to focus much better than that, but there you go. Well, there is a little room for manoeuvre, not much. I'll push up to the right and put the screws in. I'm sure that'll make a big difference. Again, if you're watching this because you've got one of these TVs, you've got a KU or an MU and you're thinking, and you've got the same problem and you want to do it. If you're watching on a Samsung TV, if you're having a Samsung TV and you have a curved TV, or if you've got any Samsung TV, check the settings. Have you switched it to dynamic instead of natural? Because that will lift the backlights and start burning things out. And it does two problems. A, it burns out your backlights much quicker than you want them to, normally years quicker. And two, of course, it burns up. Every time we've done one on natural, I can't speak for this, I'm not too sure. I think these were amongst the first. These were among the first to burn out, and these could even burn out on natural, I'm not sure. but we'll wait till we plug it back in. But switch yours back to natural. You will thank me for it. Easy to change over though, don't you think? Not like me to leave a screw. I am a bit perplexed why these would burn out. Or sorry, why this cracked, because this wasn't the faulty one. This was fine. So it's usually the ones that have burnt up the most and that I've spent a few months burning up. That caused the crack. So a bit mystified about that. But if you remember, I could feel a lot of heat coming from here, so maybe these were just starting to go. Anyway, I suppose my aim is to keep it out of landfill. Only one thing to bear in mind, if you get one of these TVs and you have exactly the same problem, is even after you've repaired it, don't throw it to landfill, store it somewhere, because these are coming thick and fast. Not necessarily on eBay, because you wouldn't want to get them posted to you, but definitely on Marketplace. The KUs and the MUs that take exactly the same backlights, and occasionally you'll find one with a good prism sheet. So, you know, people are giving them away or want 10, 20 quid for them. 20 quid for a good prism sheet, and it's only about 15 quid for the backlights, for the edge lit strips for both of them. It's not expensive. So even after repair, if your prism sheet is still dodgy, just store it, keep checking Marketplace, and I bet you within weeks, if not within days, you'll find a good prism sheet. Don't seem to want to come on, but that could be down to the fact the screen's not attached. There was a model of Samsung that wanted the screen to be attached before it would do its thing. So let me try. Is that it? Is it settled down? No. I'm just going to try it with the main board disconnected here a second. Yes, there we go. I'm guessing about there. We can only test this properly in the dark, so here we go. And I got a standby. Oh my God. Apart from the cracks at the bottom, and unfortunately a couple of new cracks, which I don't know if you can see. But I've got no shadows. I can put up with that because on a moving image, and I will stick on a moving image on that screen in a second and just see. That's not going to be so bad. That's going to be fine. I mean, I couldn't sell it, but I never said I was going to sell this, did I? This was always a monitor, an emergency TV for someone at Christmas. What settings do you think they had it on? Have a guess now. Ooh, standard. It is standard. But they've turned the backlights up to 20, so that is as good as dynamic, I'm afraid. I'd have been very happy with those at 12. The brightness is a bit high as well, if I'm being honest. But I suppose when they lost the backlights, they tried to compensate. I'm not going to mess around with it too much. Let me just feed it with a bit of drone footage I took on my local beach today and see how it handles it. Does it take away? You can't take away the cracks. I mean, apart from that bit, I was worried that I thought that was stuck on there, but it's part of the picture. I was worried we were going to have plumes of shadows going up. We haven't got that. We've just got this at the bottom. I can live with that. Picture looks a bit foggy. I think it's down to the brightness. I think the oh no, that's better. Oh, that's miles better. So natural is better. Let me just make sure. Backlight's gone back up to 20. Don't get that. We don't want that up to 20. Brightness is down to 45. I can have that a little bit up. Contrast 100. I don't mind the sharpness being up. Let's have a look. I want some more colour on that. I mean, obviously this is not, you're not seeing this, the picture the way I am, I understand. Where was the colour? 52. It just doesn't look very colourful. But now it does. Oh my goodness, that colour's high at 70. I'm going to turn that down. That looks great. I'll bring the camera down so you can see you can see that, and you can see that. But that's because there was a white piece at the bottom. Now let me get... You're seeing like a little glow at the bottom. I'm not seeing that. Do you know what? That's 10 times better than I thought it was going to be. It really is 10 times better than I thought. That you could hang that up in the living room and you wouldn't know. You wouldn't. Unless you're mega fussy, and I'm mega fussy. But I'm not so fussy these days, but I could live with that little shadow there. Your eyes are always focused on that bit. I've changed my mind. It was well worth doing. I thought it was going to be something I not regretted doing, but kind of a waste of time, and it wasn't. It's a 90% fix. I may go as far as say 95% fix. That is all right. It's a nice picture. I think I deserve a cup of tea. And this has taken 1 hour 24 minutes. Well, probably 1 hour 15. I've been faffing around for the last 10 for me to do. So, well worth doing. So if yours was burnt up like that, I mean, the worst bit is the cracks. If you've got a bit of burn up, you can get away with it. It's the cracks that show up those little sparkles here. Which are annoying, I know, but it's not ruining it. Okay. Yeah, I deserve a cup of tea. Thanks very much for watching. See you soon. And don't forget, I'm going to fetch the backlit version of this tomorrow. So I may be looking at it tomorrow night. I may not, but I may be.